Alright guys, welcome back to episode 10 of the Celtic FC Career Mode Return to Glory. Alright, so in today's episode, we do have 6 games in the month of April. We have the final 2 games of the first part of the Scottish Premiership against St. Johnstone and Hibs. Then we have the quarterfinal of the Europa League versus Espanyol, and then we do have the semi-final game versus Rangers in the Scottish Cup. Today's games, we will do simulation versus St. Johnstone, highlight game versus Hibs, regulars for both of the Espanyols, and then a highlight for the Rangers game. Player of the month for March will be Ryan Christie with the 2 major assists, and I think he had the 1 goal. It's been a while since the last episode, it's been about a week and a half, so I really can't remember that far back, but he will be player of the month of March, Ryan Christie. Alright, so the first game in this episode will be against St. Johnstone. It is a simulation game. We are at home. We are running out the starters as it's getting close to the end of the season, and we are still 1 point behind Rangers, so we do need the 3 points. Hopefully the team can pick them up, and we're waiting on a 3-0 victory. Julian Bonioli both pick up yellow cards. McGregor, Edward, and Tom Rogic coming off the bench all score goals. Alright, so flying into the last game of the year, we are away at Easter Road at Hibs. And yeah, we're going to run out these starters as this is the last game of the first stage of the Scottish Premiership. And this is, once again, I said this will be a highlight video, so we are going to jump straight into the highlights right now. Alright, so we jump off into the action right away. Almost right after kickoff, they do get a early chance just wide. I think Forster did get a hand to it. No, he did not. It was completely wide. But that was the first chance of the game, 10 minutes in. And with the free kick right outside the edge of the box, Edward steps up and he puts his foot through it to the back of the net. His 22nd goal of the season. Edward, the man on fire this season, puts in the goal. 1-0 to Celtic. Yeah, and that was it for the highlights. Unfortunately, it was a pretty dull game. Very defensive, if I must say the least. Very defensive is not the word for it, as they had pretty much 8 at the back. That was the formation they ran, and it was hard to break down. Very fun. And it looks like their center back did get player of the game. For our team, it looks like Edward and Christie both tied at 7.7. The rest of the team did absolutely nothing great. So we do pick up the victory, 1-0 to Celtic. Alright, it is time for the home leg of the quarterfinals versus Espanyol. I do believe we should be able to beat this team. I don't really know how much of a struggle this is going to be, but we should have enough in this team to beat them and move on to the next round of the Europa League. So with all that being said, let's get into this game. Yep, and we do have a big Europa League game versus Espanyol. We are at home. Let's get this big win here and take care of them. Move on to the away leg and not have to worry about anything. And let's get into this game. Edward gets the game started off. We are at home. Come on. Damn, that was a good goal. And it was coming. We definitely were under pressure. We could not get the ball out once they get corners with this team for some reason. And they do strike first. Not good. How he gets to that, I have no clue, but he does. He does. Now we have to get a goal back. Not been a very eventful first half. We have not created any clear-cut chances. And they do have the 1 goal. That should be a foul, but it was not. Yep. Down at half, 1-0 to Espanyol. Not the start I wanted at all. Did not make any changes at half. We're going to crank up the pressure on them. Let's hope they can make a mistake and we can get level before we go to Spain. There we go. McGregor. Oh my gosh. McGregor skies the perfect chance. That was the game time goal, and McGregor skies it. Just skied it. That is just pitiful. And then it's nothing but terrible passes, and we lose 1-0 at home to Espanyol. Not the way I wanted to start this game. As we look through player of the game for our team would be Christopher Julian, as nobody else really did anything. Griffiths played like crap. Edward played like crap. The whole team played like crap in that game. We just got pressured to death, and we could not do anything with the ball. Alright, so only change we are making to this team for this game will be, and Chan is coming in for McGregor. The back line will stay the same. Goalkeeper will stay the same. Everything else is the same. Can we please score a goal in this game? At least 2 goals. Let's get into this game. Yeah, we are 1-0 down on aggregate. They do have an away goal, so we do need to score 2 goals in this game to win. If we score 1, I think we go to extra time. If they score 1-1, then we lose. So let's get into this game. Hopefully we have the team to beat them this time. This game has already been really physical. Christie with the shot. Let's go, Christie. Let's go. And we are level on aggregate as he is on side, I think. The goal still hasn't popped up. Let's go. Ryan Christie. Ties the game. Great ball movement. Our team comes out pressuring pretty much what they did to us, and we get the early goal. So now we have a chance to win this game. Oh no. Oh no. And they go back on top. That is not a freaking great goal. I'm over here trying to tackle the dude the ball from the damn guy. Like, how does he get that off? I have no clue how he gets that off, but he does. 1-1. They are back in front. Edward gets his chance, and it's right at the freaking keeper. Are you kidding me? Edward gets his chance right at the keeper again. Let's go. And Chan. Down. Another one. Let's go! Edward scores. Right at the cusp of halftime. And we are now winning on away goals. So they're going to score again. As long as we keep scoring, and they can keep scoring, as long as we finish +1 and win this game, we will be fine. Great passing from the team. Christie down to Edward. And Edward actually buries that one into the side netting where the keeper is not at. And that is at the halftime. 2-1 to Celtic. We are winning on away goals right now, 2-2. No changes coming out of half. It's amazing how the one change into the game, into the team actually makes. And Chan has brought a whole nother level of energy to this team. Shit. Great save from Forster. And they run it right out. Sweet. We will definitely take that. Right, and Chan will start making his run. With Vargas on his ass, Christie's making his run now. Gets the shot off. Probably should foul. No, I can't foul. Yes, if we hold on to this ball, we are through. Hold on to the ball, we are through. We are through. Let's go. 2-1 victory in Spain sends us through to the next round of the Europa League. And oh my Jesus, my nerves are shot. Nerves are definitely shot. Once again, it looks like Ryan Christie is player of the game, has a goal and an assist. Ryan Christie is really starting to turn it on late in this season. Alright, so looking at the quarterfinals, Inter have gone through. It looks like Frankfurt have gone through. PSV have gone through, and Celtic have gone through. The semifinals. It is Inter versus Celtic, PSV versus Frankfurt. In the semis, The Celtic Inter game is very interesting because that is the matchup of when Celtic won their first and only Champions League Cup. So that is an interesting matchup, and Inter is a very tough team. That was probably the team I did not want to draw. I kind of wanted PSV or Frankfurt. Alright, so the semifinal of the Scottish Cup game is now up next. We are running a little bit of a reserve side. Morris will be playing, Rogic will be playing, Simanovic will also get some playing time, and a couple of the youngsters are on the bench for substitutes. And this is also going to be a highlight game. I know it's an Old Firm Derby, and I usually show them all, but due to the hellacious Europa League match, it will be a highlight game. Let's get into these highlights. Alright, so we get things started off here. James Forrest with a nice back heel to Tom Rogic, who does the fake shot, drags it back, puts it off the post into the back of the net. Scoring the first goal of the game in the 20th minute. Tom Rogic with his first goal of the Scottish Cup. 1-0 to Celtic. Later on into the first, Defoe crosses the ball into the box. Vignoli hits it down, and Stewart gets ahead to it, but it is way over the bar. That was one of their better chances of the game. We actually played a very good defensive game. No less than 5 minutes later, Defoe does have a nice little chance right here. I slide out the way by an accident on defense. Defoe has a clear shot on goal, but Forster puts his hand to it, puts the ball out of bounds, and we live to fight another day. It's still 1-0 to Celtic. Later on in the second, Michael Johnson's driving down into the box, down to the byline, crosses it back to the penalty spot, where Tom Rogic sends it sailing over the bar. Should have been his brace right there, and it remains 1-0 to Celtic. But right after that chance, they have a little error in the back at defense, and Tom Rogic finally does capitalize, gets his brace. Not too bad. Edward with the assist. Tom Rogic once again off the post. Andre Blake could do nothing about it. 2-0 to Celtic. 2 goals for Tom Rogic in this game. And that would be your final score. 2-0 to Celtic. And Tom Rogic was player of the game. And it looks like we will play Hibs in the finals of the Scottish Cup. So that's one of the teams that played like 8 at the back. So that should be a fun game. Should be a really fun game. And then we're going to call that for today's episode. They did add 2 games to the month of April. And we're really not going to worry about them. Not going to worry about them at all. So we have to play Hibs, Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Rangers, and then we're going to have to play Hibs again in the Scottish Cup final, and then we have to play Hearts, and all between a semi-final against Inter Milan. So the remaining of the schedule looks pretty hectic as always. I think we'll break it down into 2 episodes. I think that will be fine. And then the final, if we do make the final Europa League, that will be an episode by itself. For player of the episode, it comes down to 2 people. Once again, it comes down to Ryan Chrissy, who had 2 spectacular games in the Europa League. He was probably the only bright spot that we had in the Europa League games in this episode. And then we have Tom Rogic, who beat Rangers all by himself. 2 goals against Rangers. That's good enough to get a player of the month vote for me. So those are the 2 that will be up for player of the month. Yeah, we'll find out who it is in the next episode. Alright, and that will be it for today's episode. I know we still have 2 games left in the month of April, like I said, but we're going to squish them into next episode. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all again later. Y'all have a good one.